what led to more than 40 spring breakers getting hurt in a New York bus crash. And Governor Scott makes a major announcement in Orlando, what position he plans to run for next. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for joining us. Our top story today at noon, President Trump issuing a series of threatening tweets and commenting just moments ago, as you saw, as international tensions rise amid another suspected chemical weapons attack launched by Syria. It killed at least 40 of its own people. ABC's Janae Norman is in Washington with the latest.
Horrifying pictures, many images too graphic to show. Women and children among the victims of a suspected chemical weapons attack in Syria. Young children, even infants, struggling to breathe, choking on an unknown substance as medical workers rush to help. As many as 40 people killed in the attack on the rebel-held district of Douma, near the Syrian capital of Damascus. This alleged attack comes just over a year after a suspected sarin gas attack prompted President Trump to order military strikes on a Syrian airfield as a warning to their leader, Bashar al-Assad. Experts say that U.S. response didn't have a lasting effect.
It really wasn't intended to degrade the Syrian military, so they have now crossed that line when the president told them don't do it again.
President Trump tweeting about the, quote, mindless chemical attack, denouncing Russian President Vladimir Putin publicly for the first time on Twitter, blaming President Putin, Russia, and Iran for, quote, backing Animal Assad. The White House isn't ruling out another military response.
I don't rule out anything right now.
The president warns there will be a big price to pay, but Bashar al-Assad's regime denies using chemical weapons and says the videos are fabricated. Meanwhile, Russia is still supporting Assad, warning any military intervention could lead to, quote, the most serious consequences. And today, the UN Security Council will hold an emergency meeting. The focus will be this alleged attack that comes less than a week after President Trump said he wanted to pull U.S. troops out of Syria. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
And for more on this story and the latest on breaking news and First Alert weather forecast, you can head over to our app. You can find it at the App Store under WWSB or My Suncoast if you haven't already downloaded it. Getting new details about a charter bus crash on Long Island that seriously injured more than 40 passengers overnight. The bus was carrying students on their way back from a spring break trip when it struck a bridge overpass, mangling the roof of that bus. Police say 6 of the passengers suffered serious injuries, but remarkably, no one was killed. Police say the students had just returned from JFK Airport and were heading to a shopping mall to meet up with their parents. The bus driver is now being evaluated. And this comes as investigators look into that devastating bus crash in Canada. The bus carrying a junior hockey team colliding with a tractor trailer, killing 15, including 10 players. The truck driver survived and has been questioned by police. Over the weekend, the NHL paid tribute, with several teams wearing the Broncos jerseys in tribute. Others taking a moment of silence, tapping their sticks on the ice to remember what could have been. Today, a GoFundMe page to help families and the team has surpassed its $4 million goal. It now stands at nearly $5 million. New at noon, it's official. Governor Rick Scott is running for the U.S. Senate. Governor making the announcement at an Orlando construction company this morning. Scott has been hinting at a run against Senator Bill Nelson for more than a year now. The two have gone back and forth recently over what to do about gun violence, and President Trump has already publicly encouraged Scott to run. Nelson is Florida's only statewide elected Democrat. Time now to check our Monday weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. Kind of a muggy Monday. That's how I felt to me this morning.
Yeah, very muggy. 2 points in the 70s. It's been a while since we've seen 2 points in the 70s.
It's summer-like, right?
It's a slap in the face. It sure is. It's very summer-like. You know, I think we'll probably see those 2 points lower again midweek, so that'll be nice. You know, but if you were out and about over the weekend, you either got wet or you got really hot. You know, one of the two, because it was a warm, sticky start to the morning. There's an indication of the humidity in the air. A little bit of fog in inland areas this morning. Lakewood Ranch webcam shows that. It wasn't really thick. It really wasn't a big problem, but it was an indication that there's sufficient moisture in our atmosphere to produce a pretty cloudy sky out there. Now we have kind of a mix of sun and clouds for the remainder of the afternoon, but I do think some of those clouds will spawn a shower or two. Now, most of the heavy rain chances today will be north of us. That line of clouds that you see stretching across north central Florida and the showers that you see underneath those clouds, That's all associated with a warm front lifting north. It's really not going to impact us all that much. Our showers that we'll see, and we're starting to see a few beginning to build in inland areas, are basically caused by the warm, moist atmosphere, warm afternoon temperatures, and an onshore wind flow. So we'll put the rain chance at about 30% this afternoon, mostly in inland areas as temperatures continue to climb. We're at 82 degrees right now, 83 degrees in Manatee County, and we'll probably top it out today at around 84 for a daytime high. Complete forecast coming up in a minute. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joined us now with a check of the day on Wall Street, and nothing but up arrows to start a new week. This is something new, huh?
Boy, I'll tell you, I said all along, every day is a new adventure, and over the weekend, the futures got better, and 300 points sound okay to you?
It does.
Sounds okay to me. Yes, indeed, we're in the process of correcting a correction. Now, what does that mean? A correction on Wall Street technically means a 10% decline from a recent high. Well, the Dow Jones Industrial Average as of Friday's close was indeed more than 10% lower than the previous high, and therefore in a correction, but we're looking to correct that right now. You've seen nothing but up arrows, as Scott just said, a very strong start to the day, and hopefully a very strong start for the entire week. Let's take a look and see how the figures stand. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up exactly 300 points, 1.25% at 24,232.99. That on a volume of 509 million shares. The NASDAQ for the day very strong, up more than 1.7%, 118 points at 7,031.83. That on a volume of 844 million shares. And the S&P makes it 3 straight, up 1.3%, 35 points at 2,638.70. Well, if you've been thinking about buying a new iPhone, and if red just happens to be your favorite color, do I have a deal for you? Take a look at that. Apple this morning announced it will be introducing red iPhone 8 and a red iPhone 8 Plus. It is coming to market tomorrow. You can order it online. You can actually pick it up or receive delivery of it this Friday. The price is $699. It's identical to the previous iPhone 8s. There's absolutely nothing different about it. The one thing that is different is that Apple will be taking a portion of those proceeds and giving them to organizations that work with HIV and AIDS patients. So sure looks like Apple is coming out with yet another product, and also has some pretty good humanity and spirit involved as well.
And if you misplace it, it'll be much easier to find.
I expect
that
that's
bright
true.
Color. Yeah.
That's true.
We'll see you again at 5, and keep these zeros up, huh?
You got it.
All right. Richard, see you then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News this afternoon, we'll tell you about a program designed to make a difference in the lives of Suncoast seniors and people living with disabilities. And why a Central Florida family is upset after a video featuring their little girl goes viral.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
At Tidewell Hospice, we know it's never too late to say thank you to our military veterans. The Tidewell Honors Veterans Program has provided care to more than 13,000 military families since 2008. Tidewell volunteers help honor veterans through special pinning ceremonies that demonstrate our appreciation for the freedom our veterans fought to defend. If you know a veteran who can benefit from end-of-life care, call or visit tidewell.org today. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
We're looking at 82 degrees, the air temperature, dew point value coming in at 72. That's summer-like, 72 dew points. So the combination of the two really making it feel humid out there. A lot of cloud cover mixed with some sunshine, and the wind's now out of the south-southwest. That southwest wind is getting breezy, and it will stay breezy through the afternoon. I think that will help to push most of the showery activity that we get into inland areas. And, you know, we're not going to get a lot today, but there will certainly be some showers around. We'll give the rain chance at about 30% by 3 p.m. Then as we head into the evening hours, I think we'll be able to reduce those rain chances a little bit to about 20% by 7 p.m. But then as we head toward dawn, we'll start picking it up again, 40% chance. Now, here's the hour by hour through the day, and you can see the southerly wind flow continuing, temperatures climbing into the low 80s. Cloud cover around with a mix of sun and clouds. And then as we head into tomorrow, I think we have a much, much better chance of showers. And in fact, some of the showers that we see could be heavy, particularly the Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning time frame. So we get a few scattered showers around tomorrow morning. I'll put the rain chance tomorrow morning at about 40%. Then as we head into the evening, a frontal boundary will be approaching tomorrow. And that's the one that will really increase our rain chances to probably 60, 70%. And some of those showers could produce some fairly heavy rainfall. And I'm talking half an inch to an inch rainfalls. Plus, in some pockets, it might even be heavier than that. You might even get some 2 or 3 inch rainfalls. Certainly, the further north you go, the better the likelihood of a 3-inch rainfall. Our area, more like a 1 to 2 in the heavier spots. There's our rain showers right now. That's really not going to bother us all that much. That stays there. It's the cold front rain showers that comes our way tomorrow that we'll watch. South wind comes in at about 10 knots. Here's your forecast. Today, top it out at around 84. Tomorrow, 81. We'll call it a first alert weather day only because I think in the evening, late evening into the overnight, there could be some periods of fairly heavy rainfall. We'll see how it plays out. And then Wednesday, the front comes through early on, clears this out. We get several very nice days. Lower humidity, sunshine really doesn't cool us off all that much. And then over the weekend, perhaps another chance of showers. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. In HealthSmart, more than 3 million Americans live with an autism spectrum disorder. Mary Maloney has more on April's Autism Awareness Month.
April is Autism Awareness Month, launched by the Autism Society of America to help promote inclusion, understanding, and awareness for those diagnosed and living with an autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, ASD is almost 5 times more common among boys. It can be found among all ethnicities and socioeconomic groups. And while there is no definitive medical test to diagnose autism and there is no cure, early intervention, diagnosis, and treatment can help improve a child's development. Actor Ed Asner talks about his son's autism.
The child has been blessed. These are special people. They're very special. And we must take the time to appreciate them, to cultivate them, to enjoy them.
Social, emotional, and communication skills are the most common issues associated with ASD. And while learning may be different for children with ASD, there is help for them and resources out there for parents. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
Well, here's an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of seniors and people living with disabilities. The Medicare counseling program called SHINE, or Serving Health and Insurance Needs of Elders, is looking for volunteers to help Medicare beneficiaries, their families, and caregivers in both Sarasota and Charlotte counties. If you'd like to learn more about the program and volunteer, you can visit floridashine.org. Time now to head over the kitchen and check in with ABC7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher, who's cooking up something great for lunch for us today. Judy?
I love pulled pork. I love it even more when it's made simple. Last year I found a recipe for a pulled pork using a crock pot, and I did not grow up with crock pot cooking. So it's been a learning curve the past few years, but I'm here to say it really does work. And there's lots of different recipes that you can go by. So I've adapted a recipe from Cooking Light that calls for a Boston pork butt bone-in. When I got to Fresh Market, they didn't have the bone-in, so I got the boneless, but I did find out that Detweiler's has them, and you can get it with the bone-in as well as Whole Foods. So two good options, you can always call ahead. We are gonna sear this baby off. We're gonna get a great sauce going together. We're gonna put it in the crock pot for about 6.5 hours or so, and I'm gonna serve it on a toasty chive onion roll with an Asian slaw on top. Stay with me, I'm coming back, and it's gonna be a simply delicious peach pulled pork.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Fun for the whole family, the 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
The La Musica International Chamber Music Festival, the annual celebration of a distinctive cultural gem in Sarasota, with renowned musicians from around the world. April 9th through April 18th at the Sarasota Opera House. Visit lamusicafestival.org, click on Festival, open tickets, and get your seats now.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert Weather app now.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Caught on camera, a little girl's sheer terror at seeing the Easter Bunny has become a viral sensation, but her family does not find the video cute or funny. And as Troy Campbell reports, they say the daycare did not just violate their wishes, they used the child's fear for social media glory.
In a now viral video, viewed millions of times, a small child is seen jumping out of her seat and screaming, fearful of an adult dressed as the Easter Bunny. Mary Bryson Robinson is the 2-year-old's grandmother and says she dropped off little Sarai at her daycare around the World Learning Center in Kissimmee last Thursday. When she picked her up later that day, the center mentioned Sarai was afraid of the Easter Bunny but didn't elaborate. Days went by and the video spread without the family's knowledge it even existed.
When we did see it, it already had gone everywhere. Any place you look on the internet, my granddaughter is there.
But little Sarai's family didn't think there was anything funny about this video. They say it shows the toddler in fear for her life and no one helping. The family says they even signed this form with the daycare, showing prior to the video, Sarai's mother checked the boxes, declining permission for her daughter to be photographed in any way.
My granddaughter looked petrified. Her face changed. It was not the same child that, I dropped off that day or the child that I know.
Along with the millions of views, also came the comments on social media. People giving their own opinion of the video, something little Sarai's family says has been heartbreaking.
People use it as a racial thing. How people can, black people are that way. For a 2-year-old, it is just agony to go through.
Troy Campbell reporting there. The daycare center says they are still investigating the incident at this time. Let's get back to the kitchen and check in again with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Pulled pork for us today. Judy?
Okay, so I have about a 3.5 to 4 pound Boston butt is what it's called. And like I just mentioned, using a bone-in is going to be really nice flavor. This one happens to be boneless, no problem at all. We have rolled it in Hungarian paprika and Vicks garlic, which I love from the Spice and Tea Exchange, black pepper, a teeny bit of mustard powder as well. And now this is going to go in a hot pan, medium-high burner. So that pan's going to be pretty hot, get a little smoke to it, but nothing that's going to be too intense, okay? This is going to end up being in the pan for about 10 minutes. If you don't want to use oil, you can use the Pam spray. That will work fine. Now I'm going to go a little backwards so you can see each procedure. You notice when you get the pork that it has this netting. So what we want to do is we just want to cut that off. You can either use your shears. A knife works just fine. And you always, again, want to let the meat rest. So I'm going to just kind of cut this over here, let this open up. So then what we're going to do is we're just going to flake it with our fork. So that's the finished after 6.5 hours. This will just make sure we keep turning. See how we got that black char on that? That's perfect because that's what's going to help assist in the cooking process. When we smoke it out on a grill, we're doing that dry rub. You can even add just a teeny bit of liquid smoke to this, and that would be really nice. Now, we're going to brown it on both sides. I'm going to go right over to how we're going to top it. You can use chopped Asian vegetables or buy a pre-made chopped slaw. My standard Asian salad dressing recipe is always up online because it's so simple. Teeny bit of mustard powder, soy sauce, rice wine vinegar 3-to-1, and just a dash of sesame oil, and that's going to make a nice bright dressing. Squeeze of a fresh orange or the mandarins are in now, and we can let that sit for just a few minutes. The other thing we're going to top the sandwich with are these Lars onion slivers, and I love them, and you can find them at most gourmet stores. So let me get this browning on all sides. I'll take it out of the pan and then I'll show you how to make the sauce. We'll bring it all together for such a great lunch, dinner, anytime you're entertaining company, spring and summer, you're gonna love it.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore, but there is so much more. Amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as Art and more. There is so much more to explore.
The
Wild Broadway series brings you Funny Girl. Fanny Brice dreams of being famous and through sheer guts and determination becomes a star of the Ziegfeld Follies. Playing March 28th through April 15th, it's the songs and story that generations have grown to love. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Don't rain on my parade. Come see Funny Girl.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Coming up, the National Guard heading for the border between the U.S. and Mexico. How many guardsmen could soon be on patrol there? Plus, what's next for Facebook as their CEO heads to Capitol Hill to speak with lawmakers about a recent data scandal. And the Atlanta Braves open a spring training preview center in Northport.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story this half hour. National Guard troops will be along the United States-Mexico border today, with 400 guardsmen already deployed. And once those troops are in place, thousands more may be sent. Camilla Bernal is in Texas with more on the military move.
Along the vast United States-Mexico border, it's not uncommon to see this, a U.S. Border Patrol agent keeping watch. According to the National Border Patrol Council, the agency is about 2,000 agents short of its congressionally mandated minimum. But the Border Patrol will get some help. Troops from the National Guard have started to arrive.
This deployment has begun with the movement of equipment and troops.
The move comes as a caravan of migrants make their way through Mexico, with some bound for the United States.
Some Mexican, I think they are treating us like we are bringing terror to the United States and in crime, and that's not true.
While the deployment is meant to help secure the southern line, United States law limits what the National Guard can do. Troops will not be able to enforce immigration laws. Instead, the Guard will serve in support roles like training and construction. Both Presidents Bush and Obama sent troops to the border during their terms, though the moves were criticized as costly and of limited effectiveness. For those who live along the border, reactions to the deployment are mixed.
I think somebody coming down here and helping out the Border Patrol and all that, I think will really help.
That's not going to help at all. That's not going to stop people coming to the United States.
Happening today, Facebook plans to tell 87 million users if their information was shared with Cambridge Analytica. All 2.2 billion Facebook users will receive a notice on their news feed, and it'll be titled Protecting Your Information. You can click on that link to view what apps you use and what information was shared with those apps. It will also now give you the option to shut off apps individually or turn off third-party access. And Facebook's CEO is heading to Capitol Hill this week. Lawmakers are demanding answers from Mark Zuckerberg after that data firm with ties to the Trump campaign mishandled data from millions of Facebook users. Zuckerberg will go under oath testifying before Congress amid the fallout from the Cambridge Analytica scandal. He'll appear before the Senate Judiciary and Commerce Committees tomorrow, and then the House Energy and Commerce Committee will hear from him on Wednesday. A Sarasota-based best-selling author has some radical ideas to improve everything from electing politicians to reducing the terms of Supreme Court justices. Mark Weston thinks the setup initiated by our founding fathers back in the 1700s is outdated and needs a reboot. He spoke to a group at the First Congressional United Church of Christ on Euclid Avenue. Weston says our current method of electing politicians is too black and white. He wants a star-based system where you can vote for your favorite as well as your second and third favorite choices.
We vote for everything from air duct cleaning and appliances to window tinting in zoos by using stars. And under the P's, in between pizzerias and printers, it's time to add politicians. And if we have averages of stars as the way we vote for our politicians, we will have much better results than what we have now.
Weston also thinks it's time to rethink lifetime terms to the U.S. Supreme Court and instead offer 18-year terms. Weston is the author of a series of books, including The Runner-Up Presidency, which is critical of the Electoral College system, a system that allows runner-ups to win the presidency after losing the popular vote, something that has happened 16 times in our nation's history, including the most recent presidential election. Time to get another check on our weather now with John.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it is. Something to talk about.
In the early days, the second runner-up became vice president, right?
That's true, yeah.
So, you know, things aren't written in stone. Things evolve and change over time.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of evolving and changing, we've got some clouds out there that'll evolve into some showers. We're already seeing a little bit of that going on. Van Ways, a webcam put into motion, shows at times some sunshine, but then at times clouds build once again. I think a lot of the activity that we see occurring today is going to be occurring in inland areas because we have a fairly strong flow coming in off Gulf waters, and it's one of the reasons that we have such a tremendous amount of humidity around today. Really is almost sweltering in this afternoon heat, and even though we're only, you know, in the lower 80s, it feels almost summer-like. It feels like it could be 87 degrees out there. Well, no, it'll be too soon before we remember exactly what that'll feel like. We're looking at the frontal boundary located to our north, that line, showers up there. That's a warm front. That's really not the thing that's going to bring us our rainfall tomorrow. Right now, we're quiet except for a few showers that have built in inland Hardee and DeSoto County. We'll top it out today with a 30% chance of rain. And as we head into overnight tonight, when you wake up tomorrow morning, we'll have some better chances of rainfall for you on Tuesday. We'll have that complete forecast in just a few. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. The Atlanta Braves celebrating the opening of a new spring training preview center in Northport. Construction on a new stadium was supposed to be complete in time for 2019 spring training, but a delay means the Braves will likely only play one game there next year. This preview center will give fans a chance to take a virtual tour of that new stadium and get a sneak peek at some of the perks the ballpark will offer. The Braves are scheduled to spend their first full spring training in Northport during the 2020 season. She's a working actress, comedian, mother of two, and the wife of ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos. Allie Wentworth in Sarasota today as part of the Rainling College Library Association Town Hall Lecture Series. ABC 7's Stephanie Webb caught up with her to talk about her latest book, Go Ask Allie.
Basically, it was like, I have a lot to say. I have a lot of advice to give. And it's all based on, you know, mistakes I've made. They're all cautionary tales. Because I feel like, particularly for women, you know, I learn more from my girlfriends than I do from Google or Deepak Chopra. I mean, my friends' experiences, we share them, and you learn from them.
Wentworth is also in town visiting her mother, who lives in Sarasota. Her new book hits bookstores on April 24th. Back to the kitchen now. Check in again with Judy for today's lunch. Judy?
So we've pulled the brown pork off. We have our crock pot ready. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add one sliced onion right into the same pan. There's going to have a little of that rendered fat from the pork. slivered garlic. About 4 cloves is going to be really a good amount for it. And then we're going to take a little chicken stock. And that chicken stock is going to simmer down, and we're going to be able to scrape all that pork goodness that's in the bottom of the pan with that seasoning, just like that, okay? So then the next step is, after that simmers about 5 minutes, we're going to add about a cup of peach preserves. And you want to buy a good brand of peach preserves and give that a good swirl. That's going to be a nice base. Now, do not add too much liquid, because if you've worked with a crock pot or not, you'll know that the juices are going to extract. The next thing we're going to add is 1/3 cup of balsamic vinegar. And then, often you see it in barbecue, you're going to add molasses. The same amount, about 1/3 cup. So we'll give that a minute, and you can eyeball it. I mean, I get to the point where I cook so much for so many years that I can usually eyeball it, but whatever's easier for you, you can do. So we're going to simmer this down for about 10 minutes. Then the pork is going to go in the crock pot with the liquid. 6.5 hours. When it's done, you bring the pork out to rest. And you're going to take a 1/2 cup of bourbon, and you're going to take a tablespoon of cornstarch. And you're going to take, that's called a slurry. If it was water and cornstarch, the same thing, you can do that. And this is one that's already cooked for 6.5 hours, and it's on high. In about 10 minutes, this is going to thicken up to a beautiful sauce. And then what we can do is we can start assembling. So when we come back, you're going to be able to see what the pork looks like. Now you can see it didn't fully shred yet, even after all that time, typically because this is not with the bone, so it's not going to break off, but it's gorgeous slices. So we're going to take the slices, dip it in, and then I'm going to start to build on this sandwich. I think you're going to love it.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
The thought of my sons growing up without me inspired me to quit smoking.
I talked to my doctors, and then I threw away all my cigarettes, ashtrays, and lighters.
I started exercising instead of smoking.
Letting my friends online know I was quitting kept me on track.
Staying away from alcohol when I was first quitting was key.
I kept on trying, learned something each time.
Do whatever it takes.
No matter how many times it takes.
We did it. You can too.
For free help, visit cdc.gov/tips.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blog, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Warm, steamy afternoon, 82 degrees with dew point value of 72, south-southwest wind breezy, bringing that moisture in on shore. It feels really humid out there. 82 by around 3, 30% chance of rainfall. Then as we head into the evening hours, we'll reduce that rain chance to about 20%. But we'll pick it up again tomorrow morning when you wake up, 7 a.m., about a 40% chance of some scattered showers, maybe a little patchy drizzle before we see the bigger storms arrive on our doorstep during the evening. Right now, we've got some thunderstorms to the north of us, but that's really not an issue for us. That's part of a warm front that's located to our north. It's going to continue staying to our north. What brings us the better chance of rain showers tomorrow is this cold front back to the west. As that low lifts north, it brings that cold front into this warm, moist, humid air. And there are some pretty good thunderstorms that will probably ensue from that system as it sinks southward. Warm and humid, with a cloud mix that may bring a few rain showers around possibly this afternoon, mostly inland, and then some heavier rain possible tomorrow. Mostly just thunderstorms, though. Severe Storm Prediction Center does not put us in any kind of severe weather threat with the thunderstorms that come around tomorrow, but there could be a few pops of lightning, especially during the evening. Rainfall Futurecast continues to increase the amount of rainfall possible with these storms moving by. Anywhere between tomorrow through early Wednesday, perhaps as much as 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall. And we're not done. Once that system exits, another one will be advancing, promising us perhaps some weekend rains. But then we'll start off next week pretty dry. But there is that chance of seeing some weekend showers again this upcoming weekend. For boaters today, winds out of the south at about 10 knots, and the forecast calls for today about a 30% chance of rain, 84 the high. Tomorrow, much better chance of rainfall, about 70%. We'll call it a first alert weather evening, I think, through the nighttime hours, just because the potential of some heavy rainfall. But most of us will probably be asleep anyway. We'll see when that timing is. I'm sure Bob will be in at 5 with updated model forecasts on exactly what to expect in that Tuesday into Wednesday forecast. And then as we head into Thursday, I think we'll have plenty of sunshine around, and then again, as I mentioned, that chance of rain showers coming in this coming weekend. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, brace yourself next time you fill up your tanks as gas prices are going up again. The average price shooting up by about 8 cents a gallon over the past 2 weeks. The increase brings the national average to $2.74 a gallon. The increase was driven primarily by rising crude oil prices. According to the app Gas Buddy, the average price for regular gas right now on the Suncoast, $2.55 a gallon. That's about 19 cents lower than that national average. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how the movie A Quiet Place made quite a lot of noise at the weekend's box office. The story coming up.
Fun for the whole family, the 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.
20 years ago, the moviegoers of Sarasota looked up at the silver screen and wanted something more. And they got exactly what they wanted. 20 years of some of the best independent films from around the world. The most iconic Hollywood stars walking the red carpet. The most glamorous parties in Southwest Florida. 20 years building up to the most exciting announcement in, well, 20 years. At the Sarasota Film Festival, April 13th to the 22nd.
Florida Studio Theater presents Blue Suede Shoes, celebrating the birth of rock and roll. From the father of rock and roll, Chuck Berry, to the king himself, Elvis Presley, this musical review features such great hits as Rock Around the Clock, Mustang Sally, Johnny B. Good, and of course, Blue Suede Shoes. Critics are calling Blue Suede Shoes a burst of rock history, dynamic and high voltage. Audiences are calling it phenomenal. Blue Suede Shoes has been held over by popular demand. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting floridastudiotheater.org.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, And now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Ah, the best part, the sauce has thickened, and now we're gonna take the pork, whether it's pulled or sliced, it's so juicy. The sweet onions, we'll just put that right on top there. And then what I like to do is I like to take this Asian slaw. I put in a little watercress in there, get some bright greens on it as well. Always a nice bump in the flavor. If peaches are available, I would definitely slice a few peaches, and then I take those crispy onion rings right on top, and you have this really bright sandwich. Let's get a little more of the juice on that. This is a sandwich you're gonna wanna serve with a fork and a knife, but I gotta tell you, you sit down for some baseball on TV and put your hands back and enjoy and have a big bib. Now remember, you can get this recipe by logging on mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining page and you will get this recipe, and you could be entered to win a $50 gift card to one of our fine restaurants. Guys, I think I'll have my pork sandwich and send it back to you.
All right, Judy, thanks so much. In entertainment news, Star Wars heads to the south of France, and we hit the college circuit all in the name of entertainment. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Thought we were in trouble there for a second, but it's fine. We're fine.
The newest adventure, set in a galaxy far, far away, was shot in England, Spain, and Italy. Now it's headed to France. Solo, a Star Wars story, is set to screen at next month's Cannes Film Festival. Director Ron Howard and the stars of the movie are expected to attend.
It's another exploration for me as an artist.
Forrest Whitaker is headed back to school. The Oscar-winning actor is among this year's honorary degree recipients at his alma mater, the University of Southern California. He'll be honored at commencement May 11th for his acting, filmmaking, and social activism.
Somebody's mom just enrolled in college. I'm referring to myself. I'll see you around the quad.
Nobody says that, Mom.
Well, bring it back.
Melissa McCarthy goes back to school on screen in Life of the Party, so it made sense to hold the comedy's world premiere at a college campus. But which one? Warner Brothers and New Line set up a contest. Students across the U.S. voted and posted on social media to show their school spirit, and the winner is Auburn University. The school's Alabama campus will host the premiere sometime before the film opens in theaters May 11th. War Eagle, Auburn. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
And actor-director John Krasinski probably celebrating today after the debut of A Quiet Place. The horror film, also starring his wife, Emily Blunt, blew the roof off of expectations, debuting in first place with $50 million in ticket sales. That's more than double the estimates from just a few days ago. It's also double what last week's #1, Ready Player One, took in. That slipped down to second place. And John got to see Chappaquiddick. You
Yes.
liked it a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. But I mean, The Quiet One, like you say, that's been getting unanimous rave reviews across the board.
can't wait. Yeah.
The critics are just falling over themselves with praise. So, yeah, that'll be pretty neat.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We hope to see you again at 5 o'clock. Until then, have a great afternoon, everyone.